Good morning, I'm Alex King.
And I'm Nathan Edwards. Here's 3 quick stories to get your day started. First Friday is almost here. Now there's plenty to do downtown. And I like this one. It includes a Halloween-themed art show at Toxic Brew.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, they got stuff out of the Art Institute as well.
That's really cool.
Tons of fun activities all around downtown.
I want to go
Dayton.
get involved in some Halloween art.
I know. That's the thing is like we're in the spooky season now.
We really are.
And I'm here
Just
for
time
it.
to embrace it.
Time to hug the pumpkins.
Local comedian Nathan Edwards. Beth Stelling's Netflix special is out now. She filmed her homecoming show at the Victoria Theater.
She's got quite the following on social media.
Okay.
And it'd be great to see how cool the Victoria looks.
Yeah.
On a Netflix special.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
I'll have to check it out.
Interesting.
And Greenhouse Coffee in Sydney offering Harry Potter flights this Friday. Now the drinks include butterbeer float, polyjuice potion, pumpkin juice, and wizard's brew.
This is amazing. This is the stories that I'd like.
Yeah, you're a Potterhead.
I am.
And I figured you'd enjoy this.
So cool.
It's fun.
Wow.
And again, kind of plays into that Halloween type of theme.
Yes, I know where I'm going.
Hey, rock and roll. Looks good.
Put down your phone. Tomorrow, police will start issuing tickets under Ohio's new distracted driving law.
Melena Brown spoke with a state trooper about the new citations. Melena.
So this law has been on the books for 6 months now, but drivers were only getting warnings. We know that changes tomorrow, and troopers tell me it takes everyone involved to keep our roads safe. So here is what you need to know. The law bans texting, using social media, or FaceTiming while driving. I'm told unless it is a single touch or swipe for a call that is held up to your ear, it is likely against the law. There are exceptions in cases of emergency, but troopers say a crackdown is necessary.
It's a very common area of concern. That's why we're addressing it. It's another tool in our tool belt to allow us to make our roadway safer. So on a first offense, it will be up to a $150 fine and 2 points on your license.
Sergeant Rosh with OSHP told me that a driver does have the option to take a course on their first offense that will waive fines and points, but after that, the consequences are only going to increase. The second offense could cost you $250 and 2 points on your license. After that, you face up to $500 in fines, 4 points, and your license could be suspended for 90 days. And again, those fines aren't going to kick in until tomorrow, but I am told that that warning period has shown a
of the lawsuit have failed over the last 2 years to hire a permanent superintendent. They have left the Department of Education leaderless for 2 years.
Here's why this is important. Educational decisions would be taken out of the hands of an independent board elected by you. It would be put in the hands of an appointee of the governor. Here's what the new Department of Education and Workforce Development would be in charge of now. It would set academic standards for Ohio's grade schoolers and high schoolers. It would be in charge of the state report card system, and it would establish and oversee standardized testing. Here's what the elected Board of Education would be left to do. It would evaluate teacher applications and background checks and issue licenses. It would investigate complaints against teachers, and it would oversee Ohio's Teacher of the Year program. Educators and parents who are suing say that means decisions can be made in the dark.
The transparency and accountability and the public access and the public documents that anybody can see at any time, the votes are transparent, it's all gone. It goes into a black hole.
But the governor says there is accountability, that he's the one accountable.
There'll be no doubt who the buck stops with me. And if people don't like what's going on in the Department of Education, they got one person to go after, and that's me.
That was Tom Bosco reporting today. Both sides are expected to file more arguments with the magistrate. It's not clear when a judge will rule and not clear what would happen if the judge prevents the governor's plan from moving forward.
2 teachers at Upper Valley Career Center in Piqua have been named winners of the 2023 Harbor Freight Tools for Schools Prize for teaching excellence. Now, the Career Center posted these pictures to Facebook, saying 2 winners from one school in the same year is unprecedented, and they couldn't be more proud. Now, Andy Bueller, an automotive teacher, was named $100,000 grand prize winner. He won $30,000 for himself and $70,000 for his school's program. He's one of just 5 grand prize winners across the country. And Connor Keller, a manufacturing teacher, was named a $50,000 winner. He won $15,000 for himself and $35,000 for the school's program. Congratulations to them both.
The Yellow Springs Village Council facing a new change in leadership. The council voted out President Brian Hausch after members accused him of public intoxication last month. Hausch denies the accusations. He says he was having a medical emergency. He adds he was not cited and has never received a DUI. Vice President Kevin Stokes is now the new council president. Hausch will still stay on the council until 2025.
A reminder, the National Emergency Alert System is conducting a nationwide test today. That's this afternoon around 2:20. Now you can expect to see this message on your cell phone saying presidential alert. It will have a unique tone and vibration. You don't need to do anything. And FEMA does this once every 3 years to make sure systems are effective in case of severe weather, amber alerts, and safety threats.
Right, Pat, reminding you now about an upcoming training exercise tomorrow at noon. You're asked not to call 911 for concerns. This is just an exercise. The hospital and pharmacies will close at noon tomorrow. The emergency room will stay open. And if you're driving near the hospital tomorrow, you might have delays.
An OSU professor receiving the highest honor, Pierre Agostini, and his colleagues won a Nobel Prize yesterday for their work with electrons. Together, the team created flashes of light short enough to take snapshots of electrons, extremely fast movements. Now these bursts are so short, they're measured in attoseconds. That's a millionth of a trillionth of a second. The Academy praised the 3 for giving humanity new tools to explore the world of atoms and molecules. Wow,
so fancy.
I did not understand a part of that, but good for them.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Our time right now is 5:11. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
The CEO of JP Morgan Chase makes bold claims about AI, like its potential to help us live longer. Does it all add up? I'm Dee Dee Gatton in Washington. We'll hear from experts still ahead.
You're watching Your Day. The CEO of JP Morgan Chase is making some bold claims about how artificial intelligence can impact workforce and life expectancy. Excuse me.
Didi Gatton joins us now with his message and the new details on AI.
JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon expects AI to lead to a shortened work week and even an extended lifespan. Despite the optimism, some point out for some groups in particular, AI could have a negative impact.
Your children will live to 100 and not have cancer because of technology.
JP Morgan Chase's CEO sees AI not only improving health, but changing the workplace for the next generation.
Literally, they'll probably be working 3.5 days a week.
Senior scientist at Northeastern University's Institute for Experimental AI, Dr. Ram Hariharan, has been studying and using AI for longevity research. His viewpoint, like Jamie Dimon, appears more optimistic.
Provided we take enough safeguards so that the technology doesn't fall into wrong hands.
First, in the health realm.
All the different biochemical pathways in us and all the different proteins and genes. So which one of them, when you tweak them, will actually lead to less disease or will bring about an amelioration of the disease? So AI is great at that.
While he says the tech has the potential to spawn innovation like new ways to make drugs, other experts, like business professor at the University of the Incarnate Word, Dr. David Vequist, points to an increase in productivity, but also a potential disruption to the workplace.
There's been some indications that the number of women that will be displaced in their jobs due to generative AI will actually be higher than the number of men that are displaced. So that could be an interesting and unfortunate circumstance caused by AI in the near future.
Research from the University of North Carolina says overall 21% more women are exposed to AI automation than men, despite men outnumbering women in the workforce. Reporting for the National Desk, I'm Didi Gatton.
Good morning. Here's what it looks like on the radar and satellite. Not too much as of right now, but that's because we do expect things to get maybe not necessarily busy today, but busier than yesterday, at least in form of cloud cover. I do think that cloud cover will eventually start to thicken up during the afternoon and evening, perhaps even becoming an overcast, although it's really hard to say for certain because I think it may just be a very thin overcast that gives maybe not a milky white, but a whiter look to the sky. For tomorrow, waking up to clouds. Here comes the rain, though, starting as soon as the afternoon, some scattered showers. Realistically, though, more towards the evening, I think it's going to be periods of on again, off again rain. Should start to clear perhaps as soon as early Friday, although there still could be a lingering shower Friday morning. And don't forget, that's also where we expect much colder weather. Today, all intents and purposes, like yesterday, well above average. Tomorrow actually could be warmer, but that due to the fact that we will have this surge of moisture, or at least relative surge. Tomorrow's 78. So again, cooler tomorrow, still technically above average. In fact, I think Friday, technically, and I do mean very technically, we're above average, but then the cold weather settles in. Temperatures only topping out in the 50s and 60s over the weekend. So you want to talk about a much cooler environment. We're going to have that for the entirety of the weekend and into next week. So big changes on the way. Might as well get outside and enjoy it if you are a fan of warm weather, because not sure when we'll see it again. Meanwhile, on the roads, it is quiet, so we're not seeing any issues outside. Only a noteworthy thing as of right now, all the road construction, that's both 70 and 75.
Our time right now is 5:19. Turn up for tacos, soft or hard shell. Just ahead, we share how the word taco came to be and how you can celebrate.
You're watching
It is time for Pet of the Day, and we're going to switch things up because usually we highlight cats and dogs, and that's not because of necessarily personal choice. That's mainly due to the fact that's what we typically get. Every once in a while we get a pet that is either farm animals. That was Farm Animal Week we had back when the county fairs were ongoing, and then today we've got, I believe, a horse, and this is Dolly, who's enjoying some of the crisp fall mornings, according to Michelle. So big thank you to Michelle, who sent this in over the last couple of days, and you can tell because trees are changing color in the background. Of course, the corn stalks have changed that shade of, I guess it's yellow. Yeah, we're going to go with yellow or brown. As for today, a lot of cloudy skies, but no real huge weather on its way. Still going to be warm outside, so if you do have pets that are going to be out and about, make sure they have plenty of water or a way to keep hydrated or cool, because again, it is going to feel like summer despite the fact we're in October. Meanwhile, it is a quiet morning commute as of right now. Haven't seen any tie-ups or concerns on the interstates or state roads.
A recent study has found 1 in 20 people in the U.S. who contracted COVID use non-evidence-based treatments such as ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine due to beliefs in vaccine-related misinformation. Now, the studies were shared in a study published in the JAMA Health Forum. Researchers shared that despite the FDA denouncing the use of those medicines, the number of prescriptions increased in the U.S., Canada, and Australia during the first year of the pandemic. Well, parents, teachers, coaches, and other adults shouting at or verbally threatening children can be as damaging to their development as sexual or physical abuse. The study was published in the journal Child Abuse and Neglect, and it reviewed 166 earlier studies to produce a detailed analysis. Now, the authors called for childhood verbal abuse to be ascribed its own category of maltreatment. And a daily cup of tea slashes type 2 diabetes risk by more than 25%. The study suggests that tea enhances glucose excretion, leading to improved insulin resistance and better blood sugar regulation. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
Taco Tuesday on a Wednesday. Yeah, today's National Taco Day, and let's hope your tacos look better than these. Yeah, those, no. Today, chow down with hard shell or soft shell tacos. Stuff with all your favorite gooey cheese, meat, or seafood veggies, beans, sour cream, or some salsa. Tacos. The word taco is beloved to originated from Mexican silver miners in the 18th century who used wrapped explosive charges to excavate the ore. Now, those charges look similar to tacos and have the same effect on your stomach. And now you're looking at TacoBell.com, where they're celebrating the day by bringing back the Taco Lovers Pass subscription program for $10. Customers will get one free taco each day for 30 days. To get the promotion, you must be enrolled in Taco Bell's digital rewards program. The problem is like, you can't just have one taco. I mean, who just has one taco?
It depends. Well, if you get a like big taco, like yeah, but it's got to be.
Like what kind of big taco?
Like there are some big tacos where
Nick's
it's
seen
like
some big tacos. I mean, you know, I am more the street taco type.
Yeah, where I've had 10 of those, 12 of those before. Like they're this big. They have like one shrimp in them, but they're delicious.
We made tacos last night, and I ate 3 of them. So.
Oh, atta
and
girl.
Keith ate 6.
Wow. What were your filling? Like, what'd you go with? Beef, chicken?
Ground beef. Normally we do ground turkey, but we did ground beef last night. Jalapenos, of course.
Of course, Queen, you spicy little devil. All right, our time right now, 5:27. Still to come.
It's time to put the phone down while driving, or you could face some serious consequences. More coming up next.
Chaos on Capitol Hill. The speaker voted out. So what's next? Just had the area congressman who's being considered for the vacant seat.
You're watching Your Day. Good morning, I'm Nathan Edwards.
And I'm Alex King. Here are 3 stories to get your day started. It may only be October, but this woman already has her Christmas meals ready to go. Taney Beck started cooking several dishes for Christmas dinner and has them stashed in the freezer, saying it'll let her relax on the holiday.
You know what? It seems a little too, maybe
it's a little too early.
I would have done it in like November.
Yeah,
but,
or early December even.
But here's the deal, it's like, I get the theory here. You want to relax because I've done the big holiday meals and it is stressful, so.
Yeah, I don't know, it's a little
Just
too
go to
early.
a Chinese restaurant.
Right,
Yeah.
order some pizza.
There you go, you'll be all
It's
right.
fine. A royal, that's yours.
Oh, is it? Yeah, of course it is. It's a royal story. I'm an expert myself, but the royal expert says Prince Harry wants his old life back. Sorry, buddy, you signed up for this. Mark Boardman tells OK Magazine Harry has distanced himself from his old friends and no longer has a permanent home in the UK. Boardman adds Meghan Markle is frustrated over Harry wanting to return to England.
Do you think they're going to get divorced?
Oh, you went there. I did not say this.
I feel like so many celebrities have been getting divorced this year.
This
is causing a lot of tension for them, all this family drama.
Yeah.
They've stood by each other's side
You
this
know
entire time.
Do you know what? There's a commonality here. Drama started when certain somebody entered the picture.
I know, but that's not her fault. That's the family's fault.
No, that's what they wanted us to believe. But I'm starting to have second thoughts.
Okay. Taylor Swift could be in Deadpool 3. Fans are speculating she'll have a cameo appearance, all because she was seen with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman during a Chiefs game. Both Reynolds and Jackman will be in the new movie. I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a reach.
There is a common factor between Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds, and that's her friend Blake Lively. So, that could be why.
My bestie.
I thought it was unfair to Kevin. Kevin, I think, has done a fine job, and he and I came in together. He's a good man, and he didn't deserve this, in my judgment.
Will you run for Speaker?
That's a decision for the conference.
So are you open to it?
This morning, several House Republicans considering a run for Speaker.
Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan, who you just heard from, isn't ruling himself out as an option. Now, taking a live look at the Capitol, where yesterday lawmakers removed House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, a historic event that now creates some uncertainty about who will be the next Speaker of the House. One thing certain, Kevin McCarthy announcing he will not run again. This effort to oust McCarthy was spearheaded by Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, who accused McCarthy of breaking promises and folding to Democrats. McCarthy had some harsh words for Gaetz.
You all know Matt Gaetz. You know it was personal. It had nothing to do about spending. It had nothing to do about everything he accused somebody of he was doing. It all was about getting attention from you.
Here are some other names being considered to lead Republicans in the House. In addition to Congressman Jim Jordan, you have Representative Steve Scalise from Louisiana, Representative Tom Emmer from Indiana, and Acting House Speaker pro tempore, Representative Patrick McHenry from North Carolina.
Good morning. Here's what we're looking at. It is fairly quiet this morning. Haven't seen any craziness on its way, but there is certainly a little bit of warmth here and there. Temperatures upper 50s, which about 10 degrees above average during the morning hours, and during the daytime, we're starting to run about 15 degrees above average. Just context, our average high this time of year is 72. So at 11 a.m., still in the morning hours, mind you, we're going to be 5 degrees above average. That's oppressively warm for this time of year, and you could read all about it on our Facebook page. There I posted the weather forecast. You can check that out. Plus, watch as I get thoroughly owned by our producer, Andy, Nathan, and Alex. It was a wonderful moment from yesterday's show. As for this morning, traffic quiet, no major issues, just some usual congestion up around the Needmore area.
Hundreds more auto workers are losing their jobs today, many of which are right here in the Buckeye State. General Motors and Ford announcing they're laying off nearly 500 workers between them. Now, GM is laying off 164 workers at stamping plants in Parma, in Ohio, and Marion, Indiana. Workers there are not on strike, but the parts they handle are sent to assembly lines impacted by this strike. And Ford is laying off 330 workers at a stamping plant in Chicago and an engine plant in Lima. Now, this comes after GM already laid off more than 1,800 workers and Ford let 600 go. Automakers say the layoffs are due to slowdowns in the manufacturing process caused by strikes. UAW union leaders say the manufacturers are doing this to put pressure on members to resolve the strike quickly.
We might see another group of workers hit the picket line soon. In addition to auto workers and Hollywood actors, tens of thousands of Kaiser Permanente healthcare employees are planning to walk off the job this morning. The union says this will be the largest healthcare strike in U.S. history. At least 75,000 employees in multiple states are protesting what they call unsafe staffing levels at hundreds of facilities nationwide.
The Ohio EPA now saying the group burning batteries at the Piqua Fire Training Facility received a notice of violation. The city says there won't be any more testing for environmental impacts for now, but people in Piqua are still concerned. Gwenna Falloon spoke with protesters at last night's City Commission meeting.
Tuesday's meeting was standing room only. The commission had an hour-long executive session to discuss pending or imminent litigation and personnel matters. This is according to the agenda. During this hour, dozens of community members protested outside, many demanding answers to the same questions. How many burns have taken place? What is the health and environment risk? And will there be future testing from the city?
They need to answer to the people. We shouldn't be left hanging. Answer our questions.
The Ohio EPA tells us it is reviewing the water and air collection samples from ESRG before making any recommendations to the city. ESRG is the company that was burning the batteries, and we have learned from an EPA citizen advisory the company has been taking samples over the last 3 years. Again, there are still many unknowns, but we're going to continue to follow this story and bring you the latest information as soon as it becomes available here on air and online. Back to you.
Drivers beware. Tomorrow, police start issuing tickets under Ohio's new distracted driving law.
Melena Brown spoke with a state trooper about what this means for you. Melena.
For 6 months now, drivers have been getting off with just a warning, but that changes tomorrow. And troopers say it's necessary to keep everyone safe out on our roads. Now, while you still can call 911 in emergency situations, almost every other use of your phone is now illegal. You can use your phone at a red light if necessary, but not a stop sign. I'm told the roadways quickly change, especially with Ohio having a lot of construction, so drivers need to be paying attention at all times. And since the law has been in effect, troopers have seen a positive outcome.
We've had about a 20% reduction from last year to date to this year when we look at our serious and fatal crashes that involve distracted driving. So that's encouraging.
Sergeant Ross with OSHP told me that he would like to see a 100% reduction, 0 lives lost due to distracted driving. He wants people to know that people are losing their lives over drivers being on their phones behind the wheel. So if you don't want to face the consequences, I'm told it's time to put your phone down and just give your full attention to the road. Back to you.
One local hospital honoring survivors who beat the odds. Miami Valley Hospital's Level 1 Trauma Center hosted a trauma survivor celebration last night to honor each patient's road to recovery. Survivors reconnected with the local first responders, trauma nurses, and surgeons who saved their lives. One person honored was Officer Eric May, who was shot in the head in the line of duty last year. The trauma program manager says hearing survivors' stories helps them remember why they do what they do.
Our time right now is 5:38. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
A major operation with the goal of stopping human traffickers just ahead in hometown hero. Adam Arrow highlights some of the area law enforcement involved.
You're watching
Time for us to do some weather where today it is going to be a warm one. We should eventually end up with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. I mean, this is going to be an impressive warm up for us where again, 10, 15 degrees above average. And it's rare I get to say this, but it definitely does feel like summer across the area. So keep in mind today, another day where you want to make sure that you're drinking plenty of liquids outside. Make sure that maybe you're taking a shade break or two. Not that this is ridiculously hot or humid, but you know, we're just not typical to see temperatures this high this late in the season. Now, that being said, we will certainly see a much more fall-like atmosphere for the next few days, especially the weekend. By the time we get to the weekend, forget about shorts and t-shirt. I think we're probably going to be going with fleece and probably some jackets being busted out over the next few days.
First responders from across the state joining forces with one goal in mind: stop human trafficking. A recent operation led to the arrest of 160 people.
As Adam Merrill explains, law enforcement involved are all hometown heroes.
A massive statewide crackdown on alleged human traffickers and their operations. Some of the arrestees include people from right here in our area. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost says the Montgomery County Human Trafficking Task Force arrested 2 Air Force members, an administrator at the University of Dayton, and a professor at Indiana University. Yost says part of the goal is to arrest those buying sex, but it was also aimed at helping victims of human trafficking. Service providers, social workers, and chemical dependency counselors, all there to help victims.
We're going to catch the bad guy, we're going to prosecute the bad guy, but they also know we're here to help victims, we're here to help people that may have got drawn into it.
I think for the incredible work all these law enforcement officers did, along with the Attorney General's office, they're all hometown heroes.
If you know someone that's a hometown hero, let us know. Grab your phone and scan the QR code.
You can chime in your submission through our app. We need a description of why they're a hometown hero and a few pictures or video.
Our time right now is 5:44. Taking a chance and coming away with a fantastic fur ball. Just ahead in Tales of Love, we highlight a special adoption.
You're watching Your Day. A quick bite and a speedy burger. Many fast food drive-thrus are getting faster. That's according to a new survey of the top 10 quick service restaurants. In Touch Insight reports major reductions in the average total time at drive-thrus of Wendy's and Chick-fil-A compared to last year's times. Somebody needs to check in on Burger King. 88 seconds of wait time was cut at Wendy's. The wait time at Chick-fil-A was down to 73 seconds. The average wait time overall decreased by 25 seconds for the year. Taco Bell was number 1 in fastest total time and fastest service time.
Behind me, Chipotle.com, where the Mexican grill giant is trying out a robotic assembly line. They're teaming up with the food service platform Hypen on a prototype robot that makes salads. If a digital order includes a salad or bowl, it goes to the automated system. Then a container moves along a conveyor belt. It dispensers add the requested ingredients. At the end, the system raises up the bowl so an employee can add finishing touches and the lid. Chipotle says the system could tackle about 65% of its orders. Employees would still have to make burritos and other items. The chain says it may test dishwashing robots next.
I, for one, welcome our dishwashing robot overlords. As for this morning, it is fairly quiet across the Great Lakes, although here we go. We're finally seeing the system move to the east, and as it does, I do expect the rain to move east as well. This is going to bring us a good chance of rain for tomorrow, but for today, it's just the clouds before, maybe not the storm, but the proverbial storm. As for today, temperatures mid to upper 80s, so still very much so on the warm side. Probably about ballpark for tomorrow morning where we are this morning. The difference is during the daytime with the rain headed our way, there will be a lower window for us to get warm. That's why I'm aiming for upper 70s. Perhaps some of the southeastern part of our area could get 80 for tomorrow, but I think the big storyline is going to be the rain and then the cooler weather to follow. We'll start out probably about similar for Friday, but Friday's just never going to warm up the way it did on today or even Thursday. Today, the last Alex approved day because it's the last day in the 80s. Then we see 2 days in the 70s. So those are your transition days. And then we settle into this pattern where we end up around 60 degrees. And some of the overnight lows will be down in the 40s. Is this unheard of for this time of year? No. But what makes it such a seesaw and a whipsaw is, frankly, we're going to be looking at temperatures in the low 60s today and tomorrow. By the end of the week, we may not see 60s during the daytime highs. As for traffic this morning, it is fairly quiet and need more. We do see 70 and 75 looking okay, as well as 75 and 3rd. So far, so quiet as you head out the door.
Taking a chance when many others refused. A local family did that recently at the Humane Society of Greater Dayton.
They found a dog who'd been there for a while, and this family didn't look away. As Adam Arrow reports, their adoption became another Tales of Love.
Good boy.
Looking at Gordo the dog, you might not guess how far he's come.
I'd originally thought, well, let's get a puppy because we have 3 cats. And Mike said, well, a puppy's going to get adopted. Like, let's go look at the dogs that have been there for a while. The older dogs, the adult dogs.
Nicole Scoggins says that led them to the Humane Society of Greater Dayton. They found Gordo, but Scoggins says at first he was a little nuts. They were hesitant. So they asked the Humane Society for advice.
And they really were like, just get him in a room. We know he seems crazy. He is so stressed out by the kennel. Just get him in a room. And so we did. And he was a completely different dog.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
This is what he came for, buddy. At 70 pounds, Gordo had a lot of personality, but initially, Scoggins says it was one that was unsure and afraid. He came from a cruelty and neglect case and was at the Humane Society for nearly a year. The Scoggins family took a chance, though, and brought him home. Time and patience, it seemed, was all he needed.
And then a couple weeks into it, he turned a corner, and it's just been better every day since. He is just the most loving, gentle, loves to play, loves treats. There's nothing that this dog won't do for a peanut butter pretzel.
It's now been 2 months since Gordo found a new home, and Scoggins says her family couldn't be happier they didn't turn away.
I guess the biggest thing is that if they've been there for so long, don't count them out, you know. give them a chance because they deserve a chance.
A chance this family is grateful they took.
And if you have any interest in finding a companion of your own, you can head over to the Humane Society of Greater Dayton's website to check them out. That's at hsdayton.org.
Our time right now is 5:51. She's back.
Yes,
the queen
queen.
of Christmas. Yeah, that's the queen right there. She's preparing for the holiday season. In minutes, we highlight the closest stops for Mariah Carey's Christmas tour.
You're watching Your Day.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Good morning and welcome to the Watson's Weather Patio, where I don't want to say it's cool outside, but there is somewhat of a coolness to the air. At least it's not very hot and humid, and I think that's the most important takeaway, of course. You know, we are talking about spooky season out here, so we have the let's see, the ghost up there, we got a witch behind us, and the reason why I bring it up is, yes, we're in October, but it actually feels more like September, August. We are going to certainly feel like the middle of fall, though, by the end of this week. Some of these temperatures are going to be warmer than the highs over the weekend. Just gives you an idea when we do see these changes of temperature, how big a swing we're talking about. We're talking about 20, 25 degrees from one high to the next. So again, much cooler weather is likely for this weekend. Right for now, though, here on the Watson's Weather Patio, it's not too bad.
Netflix users expect a price hike. According to the Wall Street Journal, the streaming giant could raise prices in a few months. The Journal reports fees are likely to go up in the U.S. and Canada. It's unclear when that could happen or what the revised plans might cost. Netflix says it's already making more off customers by cracking down on password sharing and ending its basic plan. For now, customers can stream with ads or pay up to $20 a month. They have to pay extra to put a non-household member on an account.
The state of Florida might be honoring the late Jimmy Buffett soon. A bill has been filed to rename a highway in the Sunshine State after the beloved Margaritaville singer. The bill aims to rename State Road A1A, which is a major coastal highway that runs from Key West in the Florida Keys all the way up to Georgia. If passed, parts of the highway would be renamed to Jimmy Buffett Memorial Highway in specific counties. Buffett died a month ago from a rare type of skin cancer. He was 76.
All I want for Christmas. I'm not doing it. All I want for Christmas.
Christmas is you.
Beside me, Mariah Carey's X page, where the pop star has announced her own Christmas tour. The self-proclaimed Queen of Christmas revealed tickets for her Merry Christmas One and All tour that go on sale this Friday. Ticket pre-sales actually start today. The tour is set to kick off in California on November 15th. Her closest stop to us will be Detroit, Chicago, and Pittsburgh. The tour will wrap up on December 17th at New York's Madison Square Garden.
Ooh, baby. Love it. Mariah, she just is milk this for every, dollar she could.
She will milk it for as long as she can.
I think someone pointed out she's the last one that has had a original song that has actually become a hit in Christmas music in, 50 years?
Michael Bublé had a nice song a couple years ago.
Yes,
yeah.
Bublé.
What's the name?
I don't know the name of
well,
it.
There you go.
All I know is it makes me feel good. Is that a problem?
Didn't Justin Bieber do Christmas songs?
Yes, but no one, name one of them. Drummer Boy is a classic.
In Sync? Okay, people are just throwing things out. You're wrong.
Yeah, but name the song.
That's a good point. If you can't name it, you can't name it. How about you can enjoy it and live, laugh, love. We got a lot more coming up on your day at 6 a.m.
It's time to put the phone down while driving, or you could face some serious fines. I'm going to explain more coming up next.
You're watching Your Day. Good morning, I'm Alex King.
And I'm Nathan Edwards. Here's 3 quick stories to get your day started. First Friday is almost here. I'll take any Friday. First Friday, last Friday. Fridays are great. There's plenty to do downtown, including a Halloween-themed art show at Toxic Brew. We're getting back to Halloween. We're talking Mariah Carey before the break.
Yeah.
We played it during the break.
Nathan played some Christmas music. It's too early.
And I danced around like a fool.
It did put us all in a better mood.
I'm in a great mood right now, and this should be fun. So head out to First Friday.
I love it. Spooky season. Local comedian Beth Stelling's Netflix special is out now. She filmed her homecoming show at the Victoria Theater.
Apparently, she also talks about growing up in Dayton, which should be interesting.
That's really cool. Yeah, she's going to roast the heck out of
it's not hard to do. So, sometimes Chappelle likes to talk in his comedic sets about the folks of Yellow Springs, and it's pretty funny. I mean, if you can make fun of where you're from.
I mean, that's the whole point of comedy.
But only she can make fun of it.
That's fair.
Not the outsiders. And Greenhouse Coffee and Sydney's offering Harry Potter flights this Friday, Alex.
Love it.
You got to go between 3 and 5, and you can get the drinks include butterbeer float, Polyjuice Potion, Pumpkin Juice, and Wizard's Brew.
I need this in my life.
Have you ever had butterbeer? Isn't it like butterscotch
I think so.
or something?
Yeah. Something like that.
I don't know. This looks fun though. I love it. I love playing up the season.
It's so yummy and so cute. It's so festive.
Fresh, is that what we call it?
Fresh. It's so fresh.
It's so fresh. Yeah.
All right, put down your phone. Tomorrow, police will start issuing tickets under Ohio's new distracted driving law.
Melena Brown spoke with a state trooper about the new citations. Melena.
Now, this law has been on the books for 6 months, but drivers have only been getting warnings. That's going to change tomorrow, and troopers tell me it takes everyone on the road to keep everyone safe. So here is what you need to know. The law bans texting, using social media, or FaceTiming while driving. I'm told unless it is a single touch or swipe to answer a call that is held up to your ear, it's likely against the law. There are exceptions in cases of emergencies, but troopers say a crackdown was necessary.
It's a very common area of concern. That's why we're addressing it. It's another tool in our tool belt to allow us to make our roadway safer. So on a first offense, it will be up to a $150 fine and 2 points on your license.
Sergeant Ross with OSHP told me that a driver does have the option to take a course on their first offense that will waive those fines and points, but after that, the consequences are only going to increase. The second offense could cost you $250 and 2 points on your license. After that, you face up to $500 in fines, 4 points, and your license being suspended for 90 days. And again, while those fines don't start until tomorrow, I am told that they've already seen great progress with just the warnings. We're going to have more next. Back to you.
Good morning. Here's what to expect as you put the kids on the bus this morning. Another warm one. Overall, temperatures are going to be in the 60s, giving way to 70s this morning. So effectively, this is the type of AM where you look at, you go, all right, maybe your kid is a little bit chilled in the morning. Give them a little bit of a sweatshirt or maybe a light little jacket. By the afternoon and evening, forget about it. They're going to be ditching that. Later on this week, you're going to need a heavy coat at times during the morning and then go to something a little bit more simple during the afternoon and evening, because it is going to get substantially, and I do mean substantially, cooler. And you can read all about it coming up on our Facebook page, or should I say it's already up. There it is. You know, I've got to remember I did my thing. As for traffic this morning, quiet across the board, 74, 35, 675, and 75, all good to go.
In the moment, it all happened so fast, and you didn't get a chance to react.
And then what did you do when you realized that bullets were flying behind your head? What did you guys do?
Just make sure you was getting out the way of them.
Did you hide behind cars or something, or what did you do?
There's nothing to hide behind. We was all in front of the door.
This morning, we're still trying to learn more of a shooting last night on the campus of Morgan State University in Baltimore. 5 people were shot on the campus. Police say 4 of the 5 shooting victims were students, and their injuries are all non-life threatening. According to university officials, the shooting happened in the midst of the school's homecoming week celebrations. The shooting was reported at approximately 9:27, and the first alert went out at 9:30. Police did not say how many people are suspected in the shooting, but did confirm that there have been no arrests. Morgan State is a historically black university with about 9,000 students.
The Tip City School Board still has an empty seat this morning. The school board meeting last night ended after just 5 minutes and no vote. Lydia Bias attended that meeting and spoke with board members about the recent controversy.
After Tuesday night's very brief meeting, I spoke with board member Teresa Dunaway, who told me that it has been a long 4 years for her, so she is now finally speaking out.
I'm frustrated, and shame on me for being too nice, but I'm not going to be nice anymore. I'm done.
At Tuesday's meeting, the board did not vote to fill former board president Simon Patry's seat yet again. He resigned at a meeting in early September, the same meeting when board member Ann Zakor gave the Nazi salute to him. At last week's meeting, the board was unable to vote on filling his position because there weren't enough members in attendance. Now the decision will head to a probate court judge in the coming weeks. Of course, we will keep you updated here on air and online if Simon Patry's spot on the board is filled. Multiple seats for the Tip City Board of Education will be open on November's ballot. Back to you.
2 teachers at Upper Valley Career Center in Piqua have been named winners of the 2023 Harbor Freight Tools for Schools Prize for Teaching Excellence. The Career Center posted these pictures to Facebook saying 2 winners from one school in the same year is unprecedented, and they couldn't be more proud. Andy Bueller, an automotive teacher, was named the $100,000 grand prize winner. He won $30,000 for himself and $70,000 for his school's program. He's one of just 5 grand prize winners across the country. And Connor Keller, a manufacturing teacher, was named a $50,000 winner. He won $15,000 for himself and $35,000 for his school's program. Congrats.
A reminder, the National Emergency Alert System is conducting a nationwide test today. That's this afternoon around 2:20. You can expect to see this message on your cell phone saying Presidential Alert. It will have a unique tone and vibration. You don't need to do anything. FEMA does this once every 3 years to make sure systems are effective in case of severe weather, amber alerts, and safety threats.
Right, Pat, reminding you now about an upcoming training exercise tomorrow at noon. You're asked not to call 911 for concerns. This is just an exercise. The hospital and pharmacies will close at noon tomorrow. The emergency room will stay open, and if you're driving near the hospital tomorrow, you might have delays.
An OSU professor receiving the highest honor, Pierre Agostini and his colleagues won a Nobel Prize yesterday for their work with electrons. Now together the team created flashes of light short enough to take snapshots of electrons' extremely fast movements. These bursts are so short they're measured in attoseconds. That's a millionth of a trillionth of a second. Wow. The Academy praised the 3 for giving humanity new tools to explore the world of atoms and molecules. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy right there.
Our time right now is 6:08. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Going Greene, an area nursery making a major purchase just ahead the recent property bought and their plans for the future.
That's crazy. You're watching Your Day.
Good morning. Temperatures this morning are starting out in the 50s and 60s. A few more 60s than we saw yesterday, though still plentiful upper 50s. As for this morning, the dew points are largely in the mid to upper 50s, so effectively it's not bone dry, but it's certainly not humid out either. As for today, it should be able to get well into the mid to upper 80s. So effectively, we're talking about temperatures, again, well above average for today. The thing is, though, this is it. This is basically the point where everything shifts much more towards fall. It's going to be eventually cooler than it is right now in the morning for all day Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at times. So effectively, we're talking about the last grasp of summer, at least for this week. We'll have to see, but signs are probably pointing to maybe not a super extended cool period, but one that'll take us into the early stages of next week. Meanwhile, on the roads this morning, so far so quiet. I haven't seen any types or concerns.
Our time right now is 6:12. Today in Grant Hope, we introduce you to a very active 8th grader who loves games and animals. Just ahead, who he inspires to be when he grows up and what he's looking for in a family.
You're watching Your Day.
At any given time, there are more than 600 children in foster care here in Montgomery County. The goal is always to reunite those children with their families, but the sad truth is some of those kids can never go back home, and now they're up for adoption.
Dayton 24/7 Now is teamed up with Grant Hope to help, and this morning we want to introduce you to Chad, who's right now looking for a family.
Hi, I'm Chad. I'm 14 and I'm in 8th grade. I have lots of friends. My friends would describe me as very nice, kind, playful. I like soccer. I used to play that actually. I would be sometimes a goalie, sometimes defense, sometimes offense. I'm very good at basketball. I like soccer more Basketball is cool too. Shoot from far away. I like to play video games. I like to listen to music. I like to play Roblox and Minecraft and Subway Surfers. Roblox, because there's like a million games on there you could play. Like Arsenal, Rainbow Friends. I play with my brother though. It's pretty fun because we get to talk in the game and plus we get to build together. Me and my foster sister like to play outside, swing, play on our scooters, and play tag outside. I like hugs. I like kittens and baby dogs. I like to watch YouTube. Preston plays, he plays Minecraft. I watch Spy Ninjas because they like fight hackers. When I get older, I want to be a YouTuber. Talk about being a video gamer. Yeah, you gotta get a camera, you gotta get SD for it, and you have to set it up. Math's my favorite subject because you get to learn, like about times, subtraction, algebra. To this quarter in school, I had 4 A pluses and a B plus. My brother and I are close together. I like to have visits with my brother and grandma. I like being a big family. And I like to have siblings. 'Cause if I didn't have a family, then I'd have to live on the streets. Adoption means that I get to stay with a family forever.
You can find out more about Chad and other children who are up for adoption right now on Dayton247now.com.
Every week, we're going to feature another child in our Dayton 24/7 Now's Grant May Hope profiles.
Good morning. Here's the view right now over Dayton. We are basically, all intents and purposes, about where we were this time yesterday. But within the next, let's say 2 hours, we'll start to get the clouds moving in. And that's probably the biggest difference overall. Because frankly, the temperature difference may be just a degree or two. We're talking about low 80s by noontime. Then during the afternoon and evening, somewhere mid to upper 80s. Yesterday we hit 87 degrees. The day before that was 87. So I have 86 in the forecast for today. But it could vary spot to spot based on the timing of clouds, especially that afternoon spot. If you get, let's say, an hour of sunshine, that may be enough with the high sun angle, relatively speaking, to the time of day, that it does flash these temperatures up the extra degree or so to get us to 86, 87. On the other hand, if it's cloudy during that period, could be a little bit cooler. That's for today. Tomorrow, clouds early, but here we go. Finally starting to see a pattern break for those fans of cool weather. This is it. First, it comes in as rain, which, all right, we could use probably a little bit of rain. Then for Friday, it starts to wrap up. Friday, really the transition day between the warmer than average air mass and the much colder than average air mass. Friday, low 70s. That's about as close to average as you're going to get, because by the time we get towards the weekend, the bottom completely falls out with temperatures 50s and 60s for highs, not just for lows. This morning on the roads, 75, 675, 35, 4, and 70, all right now moving as expected.
Topping this morning's Dayton Business Journal headlines, a prominent Dayton nursery and landscaping company could expand in Sugar Creek Township. The Siebenthaler company has bought 3 dozen acres of land for more than $1 million. But the future's not clear. Siebenthaler's president says he's not expecting to make any big moves within the next few years. Founded in 1870, the Siebenthaler company operates 2 year-round garden centers, one in Beaver Creek, the other in Centerville. To read more about this story and others like it, head to Dayton247now.com, click on the News tab, and select Dayton Business Journal.
Our time right now, 6:20. Digital producer Max getting you ready for fall. Your Facebook poll question coming up in minutes.
You're watching Your Day.
Time for Pet of the Day here on Your Day, where, of course, we celebrate your pets. And today we've got a horse. So it is the time where, the horse is getting outside, I guess, and enjoying the weather, too. And that's what Dolly was up to, according to Michelle, enjoying the fall-like weather. Well, I guess you could say the summer-like weather based on the last 3 days or so. Temperatures are going to be, again, mid to upper 80s. We're pointing out that by 10 a.m. we'll actually be above average. So it gives you an idea just how warm we're going to be for today. But the fall-like temperatures are going to move in. They're going to move in over the next few days. So effectively today is probably the last full day of summertime. So that is something to look forward to. But again, today, not feeling like fall at all. If you are going to be out and about, just keep that in mind. Also, if you're out and about, keep in mind traffic is fairly light at this hour. Temperatures are in the 50s and 60s. So right for now, you may not need the AC, but I know it's been running on my house. The scary part is probably there's not going to be a period where we're going to even open up the windows because it's going to go right to that first real cold day.
Nah, bro. I'm here for the 50s and 60s.
Yes!
Sign me up. Max is here for the 50s and 60s too.
Here for them. I'm awake for them.
You are woke for the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
baby.
sure.
Let's go. What's
Why
our
not?
question today?
So, fall is my favorite season
Me
of the
too,
year.
baby.
Better than winter, better than summer, certainly better than spring.
Preach!
Thank you. What is the best part of fall? And let me start off by saying mosquitoes dead and gone.
Yes! Bring it!
I got bit by a mosquito last night.
May them burn.
In our bonfires.
Yes.
Ooh.
You know what? Here's the thing. It's too bad it hasn't felt like fall. It's been a real bummer for me so far. I'm ready to bust out the flannels, eat some pumpkin goodies, and go frolicking through the leaves.
Frolicking through the leaves.
Yeah.
I could just see Nathan just.
I love the leaves. I'll scoop them up into a big pile and let the kids play them, and then when it rains too much and they kind of get that mushy level, you know what I'm talking about, I just mow them over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite part about fall is the leaves, for sure. I love just walking outside and hearing the crunch of the leaves. I do not like the cold weather. Ugh, that's my least favorite part. And then also I just love watching all of the fall / holiday movies, spooky movies, whatever. You name it. Anything in that category of fall / winter movies, I love it. Can't wait.
First crisp day of fall, break out the chili, break out the flannel, sweats at night, and I can actually have hot tea without sweating. Max?
Ooh. You don't need to have the AC blowing. You don't need to do all this. You can just get a comfy blanket. You're good to go.
Yeah,
Love it.
I'm here for it. I am here for it. It's coming, guys. It is coming. Our time right now, 6:26. Thanks, Max. We'll be back with more answers coming up.
It's time to put the phone down when you're heading out and driving, or you could face some serious consequences. I'm going to explain coming up next.
Chaos on Capitol Hill. The speaker voted out. So what's next? Just ahead, the area congressman who's being considered for the vacant seat.
But first, here's Nick Calderon with America's Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
I don't like to clean. There, I said it. Do you feel like you're cleaning constantly and somehow there's still dust everywhere? I live in the desert and everything is dusty all the time. It's just part of life. Well, that dust could be hiding and raining down from one of those hard to reach areas like your ceiling fan. You know it's dusty up there, but it's always such a hassle to clean. Problem solved. This is the Blade Maid. It's specially designed to remove dust from those tricky areas like your ceiling fan. The cleaning head is uniquely crafted to capture dirt and dust from all sides of your blades all at once. It makes it kind of fun. Trapping debris in its microfiber, machine washable pads so it's not getting all over the rest of your house, making you have to clean again. And watch this, the telescoping handle makes ladders virtually unnecessary. Plus, if you don't have a ceiling fan, you can still use the Blade Maid because the head transforms to a pad that you can clean vents and baseboards and other hard to reach nooks and crannies. Last week, I was up on a ladder in my living room hoping not to break my neck, trying to knock down spider webs and dust. It was a pain. I wish I had one of these at the time. Right now, we're offering 30% off the Blade Maid. Head to asadeals.com for this exclusive offer.
This morning, we're getting some breaking news right now out of West Milton. We just got our hands on this lawsuit filed against the Milton Union School District and Superintendent Dr. Brad Ritchie. Now, this comes after former custodian Jerry North was arrested and charged with raping a child under 10. The child's parents filed the lawsuit. The little boy was a student at Milton Union at the time, and police say the assault happened on school property between 2019 and 2021. Now, according to the lawsuit, the child's mom notified the district that North was following her son into the bathroom, giving him candy and refusing to give him privacy. As he went into the bathroom, the lawsuit claims that Superintendent Ritchie knew about the allegations and refused to properly investigate or report the allegations to authorities. Now, we just reached out to the district for comment. As soon as we hear back, we'll let you know more. And of course, to get breaking news push alerts sent directly to your phone, download the Dayton 24/7 app in Google Play and Apple App Stores.
I thought it was unfair to Kevin. Kevin, I think, has done a fine job, and he and I came in together. He's a good man, and he didn't deserve this, in my judgment.
Will you run for speaker?
That's a decision for the conference.
So are you open to it?
This morning, several House Republicans considering a run for Speaker.
You actually just heard from Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan. He isn't ruling himself out as an option. Now a live look at the Capitol, where yesterday lawmakers removed House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, a historic event that now creates some uncertainty about who will be the next Speaker. One thing is for certain, Kevin McCarthy announcing he will not run again. The effort to oust McCarthy as Speaker was spearheaded by Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, who accused McCarthy of breaking promises and folding to Democrats. McCarthy had some harsh words for Gaetz.
You all know Matt Gaetz. You know it was personal. It had nothing to do about spending. It had nothing to do about everything he accused somebody of he was doing. It all was about getting attention from you.
Now, here are some other names being considered to lead Republicans in the House. In addition to Congressman Jim Jordan, you also have Representative Steve Scalise from Louisiana, Representative Tom Emmer from Indiana, and acting House Speaker pro tempore, Representative Patrick McHenry from North Carolina.
Good morning. Temperatures are 50s and 60s with the exception of Chicago that's in the 70s, but that's an area where the clouds have already moved in. And of course, we do have that ridge of high pressure. That'll eventually come over the top of us and maybe not going to make a huge difference for us because I think the clouds will offset any type of warm air mass. Effectively, today is much like yesterday where our highs will be again, mid to upper 80s, so impressively warm for this time of year, but not necessarily brutally hot. As for tomorrow, well, frankly, we're going to be just about as warm as 11 a.m. as we will all day tomorrow. And later on in the forecast, we are going to see some temperatures be rather cool, especially as we get in towards the weekend. On the roads this morning, let's first talk social media. Just a reminder, Your Day Dayton on Facebook, but we do have an issue on the roads that I want to get to. Looks like I-75 near Stanley Ave. There is a crash there. It does look like the middle lane is the only one open. That is in the northbound direction, so that is by State Road 4. So if you are traveling I-75 north, does look like one incident there. And there you can see the backup on State Road 4. So already starting this morning out with a little bit of a delays on the north side of town.
Hundreds more auto workers losing their jobs today, many of which are here in Ohio. General Motors and Ford announcing they're laying off nearly 500 workers between them. GM is laying off 164 workers at stamping plants in Parma, Ohio and Marion, Indiana. Workers there aren't on strike, but the parts they handle are sent to assembly lines impacted by the strike. And Ford is laying off 330 workers at a stamping plant in Chicago and an engine plant in Lima, Ohio. This comes after GM already laid off more than 1,800 workers and Ford let 600 go. Automakers say the layoffs are due to slowdowns in the manufacturing process caused by strikes. UAW union leaders say the manufacturers are doing this to put pressure on members to resolve the strike quickly.
We might see another group of workers hit the picket line soon. In addition to auto workers and Hollywood actors, tens of thousands of Kaiser Permanente healthcare employees are planning to walk off the job this morning. This union says this will be the largest healthcare strike in U.S. history. At least 75,000 employees in multiple states are protesting what they call unsafe staffing levels at hundreds of facilities nationwide.
The Ohio EPA now saying the group burning batteries at Piqua Fire Training Facility received a notice of violation. The city says there won't be any more testing for environmental impacts for now, but people in Piqua are still concerned. Gwyneth Falloon spoke with protesters at last night's City Commission meeting.
Tuesday's meeting was standing room only. The commission had an hour-long executive session to discuss pending or imminent litigation and personnel matters. This is according to the agenda. During this hour, dozens of community members protested outside, many demanding answers to the same questions. How many burns have taken place? What is the health and environment risk? And will there be future testing from the city?
They need to answer to the people. We shouldn't be left hanging. Answer our questions.
The Ohio EPA tells us it is reviewing the water and air collection samples from ESRG before making any recommendations to the city. ESRG is the company that was burning the batteries, and we have learned from an EPA citizen advisory the company has been taking samples over the last 3 years. Again, there are still many unknowns, but we're going to continue to follow this story and bring you the latest information as soon as it becomes available here on air and online. Back to you.
Drivers beware. Tomorrow, police start issuing tickets under Ohio's new distracted driving law.
Melena Brown spoke with a state trooper about what this means for you. Melena.
For 6 months now, drivers have been getting off the hook when they're caught on their phone, but tomorrow, and that's going to change. And troopers tell me it's important to keep everyone safe on our roads. Now, you can still call 911 in an emergency situation. Almost every other use of your phone, though, is now illegal. You can use your phone at a red light if necessary, but not a stop sign. I'm told the roadways quickly change, especially with Ohio having so much construction, so drivers need to be paying attention at all times. And since the law has been in effect, troopers have seen positive outcomes.
We've had about a 20% reduction from last year to date to this year when we look at our serious and fatal crashes that involve distracted driving. So that's encouraging.
Sergeant Ross with OSHP told me he would like to see a 100% reduction, 0 lives lost due to distracted driving. He wants people to know that people are losing their lives with drivers being on their phone behind the wheel. So if you don't want to face the consequences, I'm told it's time to put your phone down, put it in a place where you're not going to be distracted by it, and just give your attention to the road. Back to you.
Thank you, Melena. Our time right now is 6:38. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
A major operation with the goal of stopping human traffickers just ahead in hometown hero. Adam Arrow highlights some of the area law enforcement involved.
You're watching Your Day.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
An early morning sun in Michigan highlights 3 swans, developing fall colors at a local park, along with reflections forming nature's version of a watercolor painting. And a post-storm rainbow is frozen in time over the Oregon Mountains in Las Cruces, New Mexico.
For more content like this, like the National Weather Desk on Facebook.
Well, for right now, it is a fairly quiet morning weather-wise, but later on today, we do expect the clouds to increase. It's worth pointing out that it could be anywhere between partly to mostly cloudy at times this afternoon. It's going to be a high-level overcast that does move in, and because of that, I do think there's the potential for it to be a degree or so cooler than yesterday, but we're splitting hairs. It's still going to be about 15 degrees above average, so we're still talking about temperatures well above the average, but I think it's going to fall well short of record-breaking as well. So we are talking about a very warm day overall, but for this time of year, I think it's it. I think this is the last gasp of summertime, so maybe start thinking about enjoying it while it lasts. All right, traffic, here's what we got. 75 North near Stanley Ave, they have now completely blocked off 75 North. I'm not sure if this is temporary or if this is going to be another one of those mornings where we have a significant delay for a long period of course. I-75 North near Stanley Ave. At one time, they were allowing traffic through the middle lane. That has since ceased, and you can see the backup already starting to form. This is starting to get back towards 35. This is going to be a problem spot if you can't avoid the area, whether it's taking 35, whether it's getting onto 4. Either way, 75 North near Stanley Avenue, complete standstill as of right now. The officers have that completely blocked off, and you can see already cars starting to get off on that exit and try and get around because I-75 North is blocked.
First responders from across the state joining forces with one goal in mind: stop human trafficking. A recent operation led to the arrest of 160 people.
As Adam Arrow explains, law enforcement involved are all hometown heroes.
A massive statewide crackdown on alleged human traffickers and their operations. Some of the arrestees include people from right here in our area. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost says the Montgomery County Human Trafficking Task Force arrested 2 Air Force members, an administrator at the University of Dayton, and a professor at Indiana University. Yost says part of the goal is to arrest those buying sex, but it was also aimed at helping victims of human trafficking. Service providers, social workers, and chemical dependency counselors, all there to help victims.
We're going to catch the bad guy, we're going to prosecute the bad guy, but they also know we're here to help victims, we're here to help people that may have got drawn into it.
I think for the incredible work all these law enforcement officers did, along with the Attorney General's office, they're all hometown heroes.
And if you know someone that's a hometown hero, let us know. Grab your phone and scan the QR code.
You can chime in your submission through our app. We need a description of why they're a hometown hero and a few pictures or video.
Our time right now is 6:45. Looking live at the Gym City this morning thanks to Skycam trying to get over the hump. Just ahead, Nick has a look at your forecast.
You're watching Your Day. As we come on the air, we have breaking traffic news. Take a live look at your right-hand corner there at the ODOT cameras. You can see 75 at Stanley Avenue. That's where we're getting reports of a two-vehicle crash. Now, at this time, no injuries have been confirmed, but medics have been requested. And this is completely shutting down the highway. We sound like a broken record because we've seen a lot of this lately, especially in the Stanley Avenue, Wagner Ford area. But if you're heading towards downtown, or actually out of downtown Dayton, 75 at Stanley Avenue is completely blocked on I-75 North. You can see there, it's a mess. A lot of people getting off at the Main Street exit. You may want to get off a lot earlier than that if you can, or just avoid this area altogether. We will continue to follow this story for you all morning long.
Good morning. Here's what it looks like right for now. The first rays of daylight actually now creeping across, as you do have that burnt orange, the brown, let's go brown look out there, as well as some of the Slater gray, the blues. Basically, you get the gamut of colors as the sun has now begun to rise over the horizon. In terms of today, it should be similar to yesterday temperature-wise. I think the difference is going to be the cloud cover. We'll have increasing clouds. Effectively, I could see it becoming partly to mostly cloudy during the daytime. The winds will be fairly light, though. Again, that southern direction does help keep it warm. Tonight, 63 degrees. We'll call it mostly cloudy, but I do think there could be some periods where it won't be as cloudy. Tomorrow, the big storyline, besides the 10-degree temperature drop, is the showers. So this is your lone chance of rain here over the next several days, but it's a significant chance of rain because I do think it's likely for us to see some periods of showers, maybe even a true rain event, meaning wall-to-wall rain across most of the Miami Valley. Then the storyline becomes how cool we get. Temperatures upper 50s and low 60s. That's for highs. And then the daylight lows, the morning lows will actually be down in the 40s and 30s. So we are talking about a significant cool down across the area.
Our time right now, 6:52. Taking a chance and coming away with a fantastic fur ball. At 7 on your day in Tales of Love, we highlight a special adoption. This morning in our area roadways, there's a crash on I-75 at Stanley Avenue.
Yeah, you can see that crash there up in the top right-hand corner, and according to Montgomery County Dispatch, we know it involves two vehicles. No injuries are confirmed, but medics have been requested. You can see in the bottom right-hand corner, creating quite the backup. Now, there's no word on when the highway will reopen.
This is causing quite a headache. To get breaking news push alerts sent directly to your phone, download our Dayton 24/7 Now app in the Google Play and Apple app stores. Put down your phone. Tomorrow, police will start issuing tickets under Ohio's new distracted driving law.
Melina Brown spoke with a state trooper about the new citations. Melina.
The law has been on the book for about 6 months now, but for the past 6 months, drivers have only been getting a warning when troopers see them on their phone. That is going to change tomorrow, and I'm told it's to keep the roadways safer. Now, here is what you need to know. The law bans texting, using social media, or FaceTiming while driving. I'm told unless it is a single touch or swipe to answer a call that's held up to your ear, it's likely against the law. There are exceptions in cases of emergency, but troopers say a crackdown is necessary.
It's a very common area of concern. That's why we're addressing it. It's another tool in our tool belt to allow us to make our roadway safer. So on a first offense, it will be up to a $150 fine and 2 points on your license.
Sergeant Ross with OSHP told me that a driver does have the option to take a course on their first offense that will waive those fees and points, but after, the consequences will increase. The second offense could cost you $250 and 2 points on your license, and after that, you could face up to $500 in fines, 4 points, and your license being suspended for 90 days. And again, while those fines don't start until tomorrow, I am told they've already seen progress with just the warnings. Back to you.
2 teachers at Upper Valley Career Center in Piqua have been named winners of the 2023 Harbor Freight Tools for Schools Prize for Teaching Excellence. The Career Center posted these pictures to Facebook, saying 2 winners from one school in the same year is unprecedented, and they couldn't be more proud. Andy Bueller, an automotive teacher, was named the $100,000 grand prize winner. He won $30 grand for himself and $70 grand for the high school program. He's one of just 5 grand prize winners across the country. And Connor Keller, a manufacturing teacher, was named a $50,000 winner. He won $15,000 for himself and $35 grand for his school's program. Congratulations to them both.
The Yellow Springs Village Council facing a new change in leadership. The council voted out President Brian Hausch after members accused him of public intoxication last month. Hausch denies the accusations. He says he was having a medical emergency. He adds he was not cited and has never received a DUI. Vice President Kevin Stokes is now the new council president. Hausch will still stay on the council until 2025.
Tip City School Board still has an empty seat this morning. The school board meeting last night ended after just 5 minutes and no vote. Lydia Bias attended that meeting and spoke with board members about the recent controversy.
After Tuesday night's very brief meeting, I spoke with board member Teresa Dunaway, who told me that it has been a long 4 years for her, so she is now finally speaking out.
I'm frustrated, and shame on me for being too nice, but I'm not going to be nice anymore. I'm done.
At Tuesday's meeting, the board